So, Dr. Garth Davis, the one and only Garth Davis, the Jewish veg, formerly known as Jewish Vegetarians of North America, Advisory Council member, along with Dr. Joe Kahn. Way to combine dietary dogma with devotion to a deity. Dr. Garth Davis made an appearance on Bart Kay's channel, having a nice little chat, talking about, you guessed it, diet. Before we get into what transpired during this very interesting discussion, just have a look at Dr. Garth Davis. Check out the deep-set vegan eye sinking into his fucking skull. Check out the dark circles under his eyes. The deep, serious wrinkles, yeah? And don't forget all that fucking inflammation in his face. And then look over at Bart, the carnivore in this case. Well, yeah, you got me there. He's bald. And if you knew nothing about these guys, and the one on the right was telling you to eat the way he eats, and the one on the left was telling you to eat what he eats, well, I mean, just by looking at them, I know which one you would choose. Don't kid yourself, kiddo. At any rate, I thought the conversation was pretty interesting and very much revealing of Dr. Garth Davis's devotion to his diet, the same way he no doubt worships Yahweh. I mean, the guy is so dogmatic, it's just beyond comprehension. It clearly and quickly became apparent that, you know, he's read some studies, but only the ones that support his dietary dogma. He was completely unaware of the fact that studies that contradict the shit that he believes and sells. He had no clue that this shit even existed. Now, I give him credit, don't get me wrong, because he did seem genuinely interested in having a conversation with Bart, whereas here I was sitting thinking that he's just going, duck. So props to you, doctor, for showing up and having a good little chat. I look forward to round 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't think you're going to make it all 12, bruh. Judging by the BS coming out your mouth, I don't think you're going to make the distance, bro. Anyway, what I found interesting and very telling with Dr. Garth Davis is that he started attacking the validity of the carnivore diet by talking about, you guessed it, vitamin deficiency. I mean, how fucking deluded, dogmatic, and self-refuting, contradictory, hypocritical do you really have to be before the vegans catch on to the scam? Or you could just look at his face. God damn, doctor. Anyway, yes, he talked about fiber as if it was an essential nutrient. But it isn't. Conversation over. Okay, fine. I'll entertain you for a moment. So, supposedly, fiber is beneficial to us. And, well, I mean, it might be. I'm not too sure about there being a net benefit of having ingested, not digested, because you cannot do that, a lot of insoluble fiber. That remains to be determined. However, allegedly, because there are some of these quote-unquote good bacteria that break down the fiber in our colon, turning it into butyrate, which helps to, I don't know, patch up holes in your asshole or something along those lines. I'm not a doctor. Forgive me, but it's it's beneficial, butyrate, to you, right? To colon health, basically. And that very well may be the case. However, you could circumvent that problem on the carnivore diet because fiber is not an essential nutrient by consuming, you guessed it, butyrate-rich dairy. Or, you know, if you eat a high protein, high fat, low carb, essentially, basically diet, Well, you're going to produce some ketones, which is beta hydroxybutyrate. And from what Bart was saying, and I've heard other people talking about this as well, beta hydroxybutyrate got that butyrate in it. And essentially, it is hypothesized anyway, serves the same function. But, just to line all your ducks up in a row and tick all the boxes, just eat some goddamn butter for that butyrate. And you'll be all right. And if fiber is so beneficial to our colon health, how come there are studies out there that show vegetarians having a higher incidence of colon cancer, as well as vegans? And this latter study with the vegans was conducted by religious vegetarian vegans, the Seventh-day Adventists. How come these studies show higher incidence of colon cancer in all those human herbivores? Why is that, doctor? Anyway, fuck this whole fiber bullshit. It's not an essential nutrient. Debate over. But I found it really interesting that Dr. Garth Davis had a problem with the fact that, in his opinion, there seems to be not enough vitamin C in meat, which makes it a nutrient-deficient diet. Now, as you all know, probably that's very much debatable, because if you don't consume sugar, and by that I mean carbohydrates, let me slow down a little bit. Yes, sugar, one and the same. If you don't eat carbs, you don't need as much vitamin C. And meat does contain vitamin C, lower levels definitely, but it's debatable. This whole vitamin C deficiency on the carnivore diet is a hypothesis that somehow does not check out in real life, because, I'm still waiting for scurvy to set in, as are all these other carnivores. So, what's up, doc? Anyway, I found it really interesting that a doctor pushing the vegan diet, which he himself admits is deficient in essential nutrients, such as B12. Yeah? And he also recommends that you supplement the vegan diet with all kinds of shit, right? Because he doesn't want to get sued. I find it really interesting that he thinks he can debunk the carnivore diet by saying, and let's assume that it is deficient in vitamin C. Let's just assume, against our better judgment, shout out to all my carnivores out there, that the carnivore diet indeed is deficient in vitamin, not D, but C. So, why can't I just take a supplement, doc? I mean, you recommend, vegans buy all kinds of pills in all kinds of bottles. Why can't I do that? Better yet, I'll give you a helping hand. I'll do you a solid, doctor, a favor. How about I eat a goddamn orange every day with my meat? I'm still going to be on the carnivore diet, or a version thereof. And you still going to be left with your synthetic bullshit in the bottle to abate your nutritional deficiencies. Whereas all I got to do is eat a goddamn orange every day, and I'll be A-okay. As if what you said was valid in the first place, for which you don't have any proof anyway. So I could just dismiss your ass and keep eating meat, no oranges. But because I do like orange juice, I happen to drink it once in a while. But just for you, I'll do it daily, doctor. Anyway, the hypocrisy of these doctors, it's just the dogmatic devotion to both their deity and their diet is just out of goddamn fucking... It's just out of hand, man. How are you going to honestly attack the carnivore diet because you believe it's deficient in vitamin C, right? That, in your opinion, debunks the carnivore diet, yeah? Assuming that you're correct, which, again, we don't know that you are. We can't say. And the evidence seems to point in the other direction, meaning you wrong, doctor. But let's just assume that you just debunked the carnivore diet. You think that this is the way to debunk the carnivore diet because you suppose it might be deficient in vitamin C. Well, we know, and you admit that the vegan diet is deficient in at least B12, but probably other things, seeing as you recommend people supplement all of that other shit. If you're honestly telling me that you could debunk the carnivore diet because you believe it's deficient in vitamin C, what the fuck do you say about the vegan diet that you know, you believe, and you know, and we all do actually, is deficient in all kinds of shit, for sure. Not a hypothesis, a scientific fact. Do vegans have some kind of special permission to use subs and I can't? I can't eat an orange once daily if I so choose? You're a goddamn hypocrite, Dr. Davis. You're full of shit. You have no clue what you're talking about. Well, I mean, you know some things, obviously. But your knowledge base is so biased. You're such a hypocrite that, unbeknownst to yourself and all the dummies that follow you, you actually debunked the vegan diet. From within your own worldview. You debunked this shit. While you sit there smiling and acting like you actually said something worthwhile for the vegan to follow and believe. Because ultimately, all that shit is religion, right? So go back to your Jewish Veg, formerly known as Jewish Vegetarians of North America Advisory Council, and, well, start telling them to get rid of all that fucking fiber and eat some more meat. Because after all, the vegan diet is deficient, right? Right. These people are so full of shit, man. It makes my blood boil. What a fucking clown. Anyway, I look forward to more chats with Bart, and boy, oh boy, oh boy. I have a feeling, based on what I've seen so far, that Bart's going to be nice and cordial, and, well, he's going to kill you softly, homeboy. All right? Take it easy, everybody. Thanks for listening.